welcome to all of you joining us here in Singapore as the clock ticks down towards the green light. Anthony Davidson is here as usual to help take us through the action. And I've seen some questions on social media and other places about this current crop of F1 cars and why they're so much faster now, despite being significantly heavier than the previous generations of machines. Take us through that one.
I'd be happy to, Crofty. And simply put, it's a matter of grip. Now, that comes from two sources. You have what we call mechanical grip, which comes from the surface of the tyre sticking to the road. And these tyres are significantly wider now when compared to previous years, so they have the potential for more mechanical grip. Then you have the downforce, of course, which pushes the car into the road as the air moves over it, thus generating grip. And these cars have about 20% more downforce, which is more than enough to overcome the added weight.
What's up, YouTube land? Xeno Gaming back at it again with episode number 34 of my F1 2019 career mode, and I haven't uploaded the career mode for a few weeks now. And if you remember, the last time we were racing in Belgium, where we finished with a 4th place. So yeah, we're here this week now for the Singapore Grand Prix, Italian Grand Prix. Not getting uploaded because it just wasn't very good. I DNF'd, to put it in short terms. I think I only did about 5 laps, and I made a bit of a mistake in Italy. The way the season works is 21 races, and with the ICE you only get 3 for the year, so I split it 7, 7, 7, and unfortunately I didn't realise at the time, but Italy's the 14th Grand Prix of the year, so I had that power unit was on its 7th Grand Prix, and I had no pace around that track at all. And I think in the future I need to make sure to put in a fresh power unit, maybe for even Belgium, to run for Belgium and Italy, and then maybe return to that old power unit for a track like Singapore and Japan, where power maybe isn't as big an issue. But anyway, now moving on into the video, we are now here in qualifying for the Singapore Grand Prix, and this is one of my favourite tracks on the calendar, the challenge of the street circuit. Really, I enjoy the challenge of it. I think it's a great circuit. I used to love the old Singapore sling, if you call it that, and obviously the track changed and it has evolved, probably for the better. I mean, the sling, those curves were just so damn demanding on the car. But anyway, currently on the performance chart, we're the 4th best team, but take that with a grain of salt, because the difference between us to the 8th best car, Mercedes, is not very big. Oh, I can't remember if Mercedes is 7th or 8th, but you know what I mean. That midfield pack is so tight, even all the way up to 2nd place with Alpha and Racing Point. But anyway, here is now our first lap in qualifying number 1, and we're on the medium tyre here to start, and I put a bit of fuel in to have 2 runs here on this tyre. And the first lap we do a 1 minute 36.195, and now coming through for the second lap, the tyres may be up to a little bit more temperature. They don't really wear the medium tyres, so you can do 2 runs, and we come now across the line for a 1 minute 35.752, so gained 4/10 then, gained a lot of time in the last sector, in the last 2 corners actually, compared to our previous lap. And now we're going to show you this full lap from the soft tyre, as this is the best lap I actually do in qualifying. So even though it is just a Q1 lap, we're currently sitting in 14th place, so we definitely need to put a lap in here as we come through turn 5 and now the kink of turn 6 on the run to turn 7, looking just before the 50-meter board to brake, back to 4th gear, use the curb, just quickly on the throttle, now back down the 2nd here, short shifting for the best traction, and now 4th gear corner, got to try and hit that inside curb, just a little bit there unfortunately, and now into the old Singapore sling, just before the 50-meter board, use all the curb on the inside Now back to third for the right-left chicane over the Anderson Bridge into this tight hairpin. You got to get as far to the right as you can. Back down the first gear, up to third for the power, and now into turn, I believe 13 or 14, just in between the 150 meter board. Back to second gear. Now this is a tricky corner, but I use this little approach and it seems to work for me. Fourth, fifth gear. Now as we go under the bridge here, back to second gear and short shift to third and fourth here through this section, back to third for the last right left chicane as we now comes into turns 22 and 23. This double left, I love this complex of corners here. You can absolutely chuck the car in, and that lap is a really good one as it's a 1 minute 34.3. So yeah, that was a really good lap, and I was really happy with that one. And only 1/10 off the Red Bulls of Verstappen and Gasly, so all to play for, I feel like, this weekend here at Singapore if we're going to show that pace. So really good track conditions here in Q1 maybe as well. Maybe that's why my best time did come in Q1, not really too sure. As now we move here to the Q2 time, and the first lap here in Q2 is a 1 minute 35. 1 minute 34.760, and you can see here some of the times here from Q2, and we got one of the better times after that first run, and I wanted to save a set of tyres for Q3, so I take a bit of a gamble here, and I was feeling pretty confident that that time wouldn't get beaten by I guess 10 cars. So we're going to advance through now to the end of Q2 without going back out on track to save a set of tyres, and we just get through by a couple tenths of a second here, not even half a tenth maybe, compared to Lance Stroll's time. So we are safe through to Q2. Stroll, Weber, Leclerc, Norris, and Lewis Hamilton is out in this qualifying session. Hamilton, the big surprise, getting knocked out and only qualifying 15th place for the Mercedes driver. So he's going to have a lot of work to do for Sunday, but that just shows you the pace of the Mercedes car. But then again, you can say that with Valtteri Bottas being up in 5th place, you can see it just depends on how the driver performs, where they get placed on the grid. So yeah, Hamilton, the big surprise, is out in Q2. He's third in the championship currently, so he's going to need a stronger Sunday if he has any hopes of getting close to the Verstappen in this championship. As now we'll move to our Q3 lap, and we have Sergio Perez following us on this lap, but we come here into turn 7, and I run a little bit deeper than I'd like. Actually, it wasn't too bad. I thought it was worse than what I remembered. As now we come into turn 9, and I definitely do muck this corner up a little bit wide. Too much power on the exit, and we lose a lot of time on the run to turn 10 here. We're going to skip to the end of the lap now, and we're going to come across the line, and it's only a 1 minute 35.2 with Sergio Perez setting the fastest time of the session. We let him through, and that's only good enough for 8th place at the minute. And you can see Verstappen's time, he was absolutely rapid at 33.9, and I knew I could do that pace. I did 34.3 in Q1, so I was thinking to myself, if I just get out there and get another lap in, I can definitely put in the performance. I had an extra kilo I left in the pocket to take a fuel out. I'd been running all those laps with 6 kilos of fuel in the mediums with more fuel. But as you can see, I don't know if any of you guys were paying attention to the weather there, but it was all clear. There was no threat of rain. Jeff didn't warn anybody of any rain. But as we come out here for our final Q3 run, you can see quite clearly it is raining here with 2 minutes to go in Singapore, and this is all going to ruin my chances to improve, everybody's chances to improve the lap time. We're currently 8th, and we got Raikkonen, Kvyat, Perez, Vettel, Butler, Gasly, Verstappen all ahead, with Bottas in 9th, Ricciardo 10th. So yeah, it looks like this rain is going to cost us a chance, and I actually asked Jeff here So yeah, rain's here to stay. That's really unfortunate, and means there's probably no chance we can improve our lap. As now we come here into the last sector, you can say we're a long way off our best time, and that was not really a good lap. So we're nowhere near getting to improve. We're going to finish the lap out though, and unfortunately, we're going to be starting here 8th in Singapore. A bit disappointing considering we probably had the pace to be at least maybe in the top 3, definitely top 5.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Verstappen, Gasly and Devon Butler. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
So yeah, Max Verstappen takes pole position. Not sure how many pole positions he's had, but he's had quite a few. Gasly takes 2nd place, and Devon Butler in 3rd place, which is quite a surprise for him. But anyway, I'll give it to David Croft, and he'll give you the race introduction.
Over the South China Sea, the sport that never sleeps is alert and raring to go. Welcome under the bright lights of the Marina Bay Circuit to another Singapore Grand Prix. It's a very long, very physical lap, this one, and really there's not much in the way of margin for error. So we have a bit of an endurance race for you tonight. We're here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit today, located in the heart of Singapore. The circuit consists of 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right. It's a track that's incredibly technical, so don't expect to see the drivers taking too much at full throttle. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? That was a great win in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Butler, Vettel, Sergio Perez, and Kvyat, Raikkonen, the captain, Bottas, and Daniel Ricciardo, Stroll, Leclerc, Lando Norris, and Hamilton, Hülkenberg, Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen, and Alexander Albon. Grosjean and Lucas Weber completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Welcome everybody to the Singapore Grand Prix, and yes, we do have some weather due at the end of this Grand Prix, or due in the latter half of this Grand Prix at some point in this. But yeah, excited for this one. It should be a good race. 8th place. We probably had the pace to be a little bit higher on the grid, but you know we couldn't really control that in the end. Probably we should have put in a better lap at the start of Q3. Thanks for that, Jeff. Yeah, so all Red Bull front row. Max Verstappen's got a 34-point lead over his teammate Pierre Gasly in the championship. So he's been on a tear. He's won the last 4 Grand Prix in a row, and we'll see what he can do here today from the front. We're going to quickly actually just, I believe, ask Jeff on the weather report as well. Yep, I do, yep.
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions looking good. Dry seem like the fastest tire at the moment.
So anyway, let's get into this Grand Prix. Rain will be coming at some point, but the revs rise here in Singapore, and it's go for the Singapore Grand Prix. Not a bad start, decent start for Kimi Raikkonen. He looks like he's pulling alongside Danny Kvyat. We're going to go very cautiously here into turn 1, and Raikkonen and Kvyat side by side. Verstappen's going to lead from Gasly. Vettel's jumped Butler into 3rd place, and now Butler is fighting with Perez for 4th as Raikkonen and Kvyat go side by side. Same with Butler and Perez, and now we're looking to get involved in the action as these guys just pull away from us on the straight here though with our high aero settings. As we now come into turn 7 for the first time, Kvyat got the inside line, same as Devon Butler. Kvyat, a little bit of contact between the two, and can we find a way through here at the minute? No. Raikkonen really bouncing over that curb. We're looking through to the inside. Butler has gained 4th on Perez, but Raikkonen and Kvyat still side by side, and now they're just costing each other time. Can Kvyat get it done? Raikkonen's not giving this up, going right around the outside, and he gets it done around the outside through turn 10. Brilliant move by the Finn, and Raikkonen settles into 6th, Kvyat 7th. We are still in 8th place, and we almost run into the back of Danny Kvyat there. And now we really lose the back end, lose a lot of time, and now Valtteri Bottas, can he line us up into turn 13, 14? I can't remember, I should look this up. But anyway, we now move and we keep the position P8 here, so not a great first lap, didn't make up any positions, and we've lost about a second worth of time to Danny Kvyat. We're now going to have to make that up over the next couple of laps, so hopefully we can make that up before the DRS is activated and we can settle into a little bit of a rhythm now and get these tyres. They don't last long, these soft tyres, so we have to maximise them here in the early stages of this Grand Prix. And we move now here to lap 3, where we do have the DRS on Danny Kvyat for the first time in this Grand Prix. The second time actually. Last lap we had it, but we couldn't do anything with it because we were too far back. But now here we're much closer here on lap 4, coming through turn 5, and we're going to really close on his rear wheel. And by the way, that corner is turn 14. So now coming through, and Kvyat's going to defend to the inside. We're going to look for the switchback on him. We've got a much better exit. It looks like we have a bit more pace than him at the minute. We're going to go right around the outside through turn 8. That's a brilliant move, and we've made it stick. So yeah, we move out into 7th place, and now the plan is to come into the pits to try and get an undercut here on Raikkonen, Perez, Butler and Sebastian Vettel. We slide the car. These tyres don't last long around here, and because of the rain, I'm not sure of when it's going to come. I don't think we're going to be pitting for a second medium tyre, so I'm going to try and get these tyres through to the rain period now, and we come into the pits for that set of mediums, which is a much better tyre than the hard. We're going to try and stay away from the hard tyre. It's not very quick around this circuit, and we now going to come back out in last place, hopefully with a nice undercut though, and we should get a real nice undercut here on those guys. So we'll see. We're going to push hard in this lap, a little bit wide through there, but that shouldn't cost us time. But now not everybody, but a lot of drivers have pitted that were on the soft tyre, and let's see how this undercut has come into effect here, as a lot of cars in the pit lane. But here is Raikkonen, we're ahead of him. Butler, we're ahead of him, yes, and Vettel, we're not quite ahead of him. So Vettel was 3rd on track, and we've come out right behind him. And I believe Perez went around for another lap, so that's really going to cost Sergio Perez. And we've got the DRS here on Sebastian Vettel. We're going to close up to him, but we're not going to be close enough to make a move into turn 7. So yeah, next lap here, and Vettel is once again the target here, currently fighting for 13th place, as cars are still yet to stop. Didn't really think about the time. I was really just thinking about this as the battle for 3rd. Anyway, we are very close to the back of Sebastian Vettel, who's on the medium tyre, but our pace in this race is really good as we now come down Raffles Boulevard, coming into turn 7. Vettel's going to the inside. We're also going to the inside. We're going to outbrake the German and get the move done through turn 7. So that's effectively 3rd place. Gasly's actually next on the track. He's also made his pit stop. And now Vettel is blown up. Sebastian Vettel could be out of this Grand Prix. There's smoke coming from the back of the Ferrari. Yellow flags. He's dropped. Butler's moved ahead. So too has Raikkonen. And Perez is there as well now. And yes, Sebastian Vettel is out of this Grand Prix. Vettel had a chance for really good points this race, and he's now out. No safety car, no virtual safety car, as we continue now to lap 8, where Gasly here is stuck behind Romain Grosjean. And this is really hurting Gasly. We're now right behind him. And will he be desperate enough to make a move through here? No, he won't. He's smarter than that. And He's going to have to wait for the main straight probably. We got Devin Butler also right behind us. So he has looked like he's been really strong this weekend. McLaren looks like they've just been a strong package this weekend in general. Even though Norris didn't make it through here to Q3. It just depends on what car and driver combination you have. As Gasly down the inside of Grosjean. Grosjean locks up, goes wide. We take advantage. And Butler also slips through. So Grosjean loses 3 places in one corner. Really having a difficult time in that Renault. Which just really is not a good car. As we now, though, come through turn 5. And Gasly was kind of in the inside. We had a much better run through turn 5. As we now come down Raffles Boulevard through turn 6. Gasly almost squeezes us into the wall. But we squeeze past and we outbrake him into turn 7, take the apex of the corner, and move up into effectively P2 for now. So we're running a great little race here now on lap 9. And you can see we're now caught up to Alex Albon here at the end of lap 10. And you can see Max Verstappen, he's ahead in those gaggle of cars. So that's who we're trying to chase down. We do have the pace, I believe, to win this race. So I do believe we have a good pace this weekend. The Red Bulls are very quick though, so we're going to go around the outside of Albon. We're just going to clean drive around the outside of him on those medium tyres. Better car, more grip. So Albon drops down a position, we gain another position. Now, lap 11, we're behind Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. And we get a much better run. He's on the hard tyre as well. No, he's on the older mediums. I thought maybe he was on the hards. He's on mediums though. And we're going to try and outbrake him. No, we're not going to do what we did to Albon. He's a little bit more wise to it. But now we're looking for a much better run out of turn 3. And we get that run as we now sweep around into turn 5. Can we go around the outside? And yes, we do. We just have the grip to drive right around the outside of Magnussen. A brilliant move to move us now into 8th place there, or 6th place. It was 8th place, sorry. As we now move, we're behind Lucas Weber, who pulls into the pits along with our teammate Antonio Giovinazzi, and that leaves up Lewis Hamilton up next, and he is on the hard tyre. I can't quite tell, to be honest. It's very difficult to see in this little window box, and I can't remember what tyre he was on. So yeah, lap 13 though in this Grand Prix, we're now up to 5th, effectively 2nd. You can see where Verstappen is. He's about 5 seconds down the road, but we've now got DRS and Hamilton into turn 7 as he's going to go to the inside. He's going to defend, and he is on the hard tyre to confirm. And now we're going to drive a little bit off the track, but now we've got the inside position for turn 8, and we get past Lewis Hamilton there for 4th place. Maybe a little bit cheeky, but I was clearly quicker, and we get through. Hulkenberg would come into the pits at the end of that lap as well, so he would get out of the way, and that would give us clean track to try and catch Max Verstappen, who was being held up by Lance Stroll. But here he finally gets through on Stroll here on lap 14, and now we have to chase down Stroll. We almost threw it into the barrier there. Very risky moment, but now it's lap 15. We've caught up to the back of Lance Stroll, and we're going to have a look with DRS maybe into turn 1. We're not boxing this lap, Jeff. We're staying out until this rain hits, which is not far away. It's due any time soon. And Lance Stroll, we have this little line compared to the AI, which seems to give us an advantage through turn 3 and turn 5. And we're a little bit quicker here through 5. And so we now open the DRS on the run to turn 7. But that racing point is slippery in a straight line, and we gain, but we don't gain enough to make a move into turn 7. So we're going to have to follow the Canadian for now here on lap 16 of this Grand Prix. And so yeah, we're sitting comfortably 3rd place right now, looking to get past Stroll. And you can see the gap Verstappen has already pulled in the matters of a couple of laps, as now we have a yellow flag in the foreground, and it's going to be for Lance Stroll's former teammate Sergio Perez in the Williams. He's also now out of this Grand Prix. Now we have a safety car deployed. We have a safety car that has been deployed. Just come on, Jeff. And I was thinking about maybe should I go onto the soft tyre, but then I did that, and when he said that, it meant the rain was not far away, so I stayed out, waited to see what the weather do. Now this is the in lap for the safety car. It's lap 18. You can see the rain started pretty much when the safety car came out, and look at the weather already. I'm struggling here, and I maybe should have come in right now, but I just like, oh, we'll see what the first lap is like on dryers. So we're here on cold medium tyres. Hamilton's going to have a look down the inside into turn 1. We outbrake him actually and take the apex. But yeah, just had no grip on the safety car restart. Almost stood down into the barrier and on those cold mediums. So Verstappen's got a good restart. Stroll's made not a bad restart. We've actually pulled a gap now. Hamilton got pinched by us through turn 1, but I knew immediately I wanted to come in after probably the last corner even. But you can see I almost missed the pit lane entrance, how little grip I had. As we now make it into the pits to put on the intermediate tyre, so conditions quickly deteriorate. It did start raining, to be fair, on lap 16, but I wasn't sure if I could. I wanted to see what it was like on dryers for a lap, and I think immediately it was time for Inter. So maybe could have been leading this Grand Prix with a more decisive strategy call, but just was unsure at that point in time. So we're going to come back out in 5th place here, as I believe Hamilton went around again. I'm not sure. Another car as well went around, but I'm just not sure who that car is. So yeah, sitting in effectively 3rd place for now. Lando Norris is actually the car behind us in 6th place, so I'm not sure how he's gotten to that spot, to be honest. He's probably done what Stroll's done, just has pitted straight onto the Inter's tyre, same as Hamilton. Hamilton, though, is going to be buried in this field. There's actually Magnussen that ran with him. They're going to be buried in this field just for doing that extra lap on dry tyres. So we've got 10 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Verstappen's got a huge lead. It's going to be very difficult, unless his car breaks down, for him to not win this Grand Prix. Stroll running a fantastic second in the Racing Point, and we're on course for a podium in 3rd place as we now move to lap 26, and that's how long it took us to get to the back of Lance Stroll. We've been dragging Norris along, and Weber is the car, the Alpha behind. We've been dragging them along with us. Weber started last in this Grand Prix, and he's doing a fantastic job to be running where he's running in 5th place. So I'm looking for any advantage I can to get past Lance Stroll. I've probably been on his gearbox for about a lap and a half, and without the DRS and the high aero we're running, it's just very difficult to make a passing move anywhere on this track. So turn 7's obviously the best opportunity. You can see we're just not even anywhere near the back of him. So yeah, we're looking to get 2nd place, and just not sure where we can do it at the moment. And anyway, we're going to start lap 28 of this Grand Prix. Max Verstappen is probably about 20 seconds in the lead now. He's gone. You can see he's already coming down Raffles Boulevard, so he's going through turn 6 right about now as we're coming through turn 1. So huge gap for Verstappen out front. His teammate Pierre Gasly is sitting in about 7th place behind Charles Leclerc, who's in 6th place, with Valtteri Bottas running in 8th. So that's how it's... Thanks, Jeff. That's how it's standing at the moment, but we're trying to figure out a way past Lance Stroll at the minute. As we come into turn 7, we're not close enough to even think about an attempted move. So once again, we just have to sit behind it. Here we go through on lap 29 now. We're a lot closer this time around if we can get the power down. But that Racing Point's very good in a straight line. We're just, even with right in the toe, we're just not pulling close enough to make a move. So we're going to have to sit behind once again. And I was thinking maybe if I can't do it in the turn 7, maybe I should try do it somewhere else. And my thought was, that's talking about Lewis Hamilton, who actually had issues, but my thought was maybe the Anderson Bridge. So I thought if I get a really good run through this area, I can make a move. But we lock up the front tyres and we lose the downforce. We actually bang the wall, break the front wing quite a bit there. And yeah, so we've dropped 3rd place to Lando Norris, and we're probably not going to get that back now with the damage. That's severe damage in our right front end plate. So yeah, that's a poor mistake there from me. We've just thrown a podium down the drain, and now we've got 2 laps to go to defend this 4th place, and you can tell immediately the aero is affecting me. And here comes Lucas Weber. He's very close to us out of the last corner, and we pretty much almost run off the track, but we do defend the position into turn 1. But now we're going to have to worry about that into turn 7 again, as we're losing the back end here. And locking up the front tyres as we've just got a lot less downforce down the front end. But Weber's right in our slipstream. We're running that high aero, as I stated, so it's an easy overtake for him. He pulls along to our outside. We turn, we locked up this contact, a lot of contacts. We actually break the front wing to now red. So we now move to the end of lap 30. They can't overtake us. They don't have an opportunity to overtake us from there. It's only turn 1 and turn 7 where we're under pressure. Look how wide we're running, just trying to use the maximum speed. We pretty much block Leclerc, and he still has a look into turn 1, but we shut that door. We actually run a little bit off the track. Now, what can we do here through turn 7? We're going to have to maximise turn 5 to the best of our abilities. It's the right side of the car that's got badly damaged, but we lock up quite badly, and we don't maximise our run through turn 5. So now Leclerc is right behind us. Can he have a move into turn 7? We're going to run defensive, and Leclerc pulls to the outside. We brake later than him and lock up the tyres, but we make sure we defend 4th place here. So we're losing time to Norris and Stroll ahead. Norris looking up for a way past Stroll for 2nd place. But yeah, I believe this will be Lando Norris's first podium in the career mode. I'm not quite sure about season 1, so, but I don't think Lando Norris got a podium. So yeah, that's all up in the air at the minute, and so he definitely hasn't got a podium yet this year. This is going to be bits as Max Verstappen has won the Grand Prix, dominated this race, especially in the rain period. He's won by 30 seconds. So yeah, fair play to Max Verstappen. We're still trying to hold on to Charles Leclerc. Unfortunately for Leclerc, there's just no way through this section of track. But as Lance Stroll is holding off 2nd place, Stroll, I also believe, has yet to score a podium in this career mode. So these two guys, their first podiums in this career mode. Lance Stroll's 2nd career podium. Norris gets his 1st career podium. So kudos to those guys. And yeah, 4th place though for us here in Singapore. Probably should have been a podium, but I'll take a 4th place. So yeah.
What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they clearly have a car that comes alive in the kind of conditions we were dealing with today. It's a very balanced package in the wet, and what that means is that the drivers have confidence to attack. Having that confidence gets you on the power earlier, it lets you brake later, and can put you a long way up the road.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. So let's review the updated driver standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I think it's got to be Lucas Weber. Time and time again, he proves that he's someone who can quietly get the job done, and that's exactly what he's done today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull pull further ahead of the standings. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So that was the Singapore Grand Prix. Max Verstappen has won by 30 seconds, really dominated. He had pole position, fastest lap, and the win. So Lance Stroll, 2nd place, unbelievable result for him. Lando Norris finishes in 3rd, another great result. A great result for him. It's actually his 1st points of the season. I just realised that now. Also looking further through the results, Leclerc 5th, Weber 6th, Gasly only in 7th place, and now that means the championship standings is a whopping 52 points. So lot of work for Pierre Gasly to do if he's going to take away this championship from Verstappen. That was actually Max Verstappen's 8th win of the season. It's his 5th win in a row. So he's really just got a stranglehold. He's pretty much put one hand on the trophy. It's going to be very hard for anybody to beat him this year. That Red Bull car's just been so good, and he's been so good himself. Just real quick before I go back to the results, an engine upgrade here, hopefully to get that forward to the Japanese Grand Prix to help us with development of the car. But back to the results. Hamilton 8th, and in 9th place is Alexander Albon to pick up Renault's first 2 points of the season, so congratulations to him. And Butler, I'm not sure what happened to him. He ends up P12. Our teammate Giovinazzi 16th place, so he's obviously just not getting the job done, unfortunately. With Ricciardo 17th place, so I'm not sure what happened to Danny Rick. He was running in the top 10. He's qualified in the top 10, so I'm not sure what happened to him. With Perez and Vettel DNFing. So yeah. Now looking here, this is the next race at Russia. I just wanted to show you, this is how close everything is between the midfield. You could see Racing Point and Williams have a bit of an upgrade, and we didn't get an upgrade for Russia, and you can see we've plummeted. We're now the 6th best car. You can see Red Bull have quite a stranglehold, but you know, Williams the 2nd best car on the grid, with Racing Point 3rd, McLaren a 4th, and Alfa 5th. So it's really all to play for in that midfield. Haas is leaking a little bit behind there, maybe not on that midfield pack quite. And Renault definitely off the back, but it looks like they are making a lot of progress. They were a lot slower at the start of the year. They're definitely getting closer to the pack, Renault, which is encouraging to see. But yeah, in the championship we are sitting on 63 points. I forgot to show it, that's why I'm reading it out. And but yeah, Verstappen leads the championship by 52 points. So, but we ourselves 8th place on 63 points. Our teammate Giovinazzi only has 7 points, so in the constructors we're sitting 7th place on 70 points. Red Bull 1st place, and they're 200 points ahead. They're 192 points ahead in the standings, which is just ridiculous. 192, sorry, not 292. And here I was just looking through the each category to see where we rank, and we're 7th in engine, 4th in aero, and 4th in chassis. And I realised why Red Bull is so good, because they're first in all 3 categories. So, yeah, we really need to focus on our engine. That's why I went for the engine upgrade. We need to be higher than 7th. Probably try and also focus a little bit more on aero performance and chassis towards the end of this season. But anyway, that's been today's career episode, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please leave a like on the video. Really would appreciate that. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want to see plenty more F1 content with the new game just around the corner. Till then, I'll see you next time.